Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Jacob of Paradox Multimedia, and this video marks the end of probably the biggest thing, well maybe not the biggest thing, let's say the biggest solo thing I've done on here. Of course I'm talking about the remix contest I did for the 3rd anniversary of my second album, Look to the Sky. In case you haven't been paying attention for the last month and a half, I announced a remix contest for my album Look to the Sky, which allowed people to submit remixes for 3 songs. That would be 128 Beat Rave, Gem of a Different Luster, and Diamond in a Rut. And the submissions were really good. Most of them. Anyways, the ones that were good, which was most, were really just blew my mind. Not that I expected like a majority of them to suck or anything, but just I did not expect people to go all out on this. Now some may have taken a bit more liberty with the songs than others. They all turned out really great, and I'm so glad that everybody submitted. But of course, it being a contest, there has to be winners. And in this case, we have only one person that submitted to more than one category, so they'll be getting the highest reward that they earned and nothing else. So if they got first place in one, second place in another, they're only getting the first place prize. Because 1, to keep things fair, 2, because only one person submitted to more than one category, 3, that was part of the rules I established, and there were very few, and 4, because I don't want to give somebody 75 bucks. That being said, let's cut to the chase and get right into it. Starting off is 128 Beat Rave, which only had 2 entries. Second place, we have Blue Lays. Now, while his take was really unique and interesting, I feel like it didn't really fit with this song. Not to say that it's bad by any means, I just didn't prefer it. So the first place winner for 128 Beat Rave, the only other person who entered, Paul E. Messier, who submitted this neo-classic neon noir remix. That's literally what he called it. I've never heard of this genre before, or subgenre, sub-subgenre. His version of 128 Beat Rave was fantastic. Combination of more traditional orchestral elements and more modern electronic components makes this hybrid of a remix really stand out. Granted, there wasn't really a lot to compete with when it came to this category. Next, we have Gem of a Different Luster, which got 3 entries. In third place, we have the anime-style orchestral/score inspired take by Ebiometrics. Now, while his was really cool, I gotta say it was a little short and it could have used some more in the way of ideas. Again, not to say it's bad by any means, but I feel like in comparison to the other 2, it kind of fell short. If it was a bit longer and had a little more, let's say, creative license, I think it could have been a contender. In second place, we have Do What You Lovely's Indie Electronic remix, which was really breathtaking. While I really like the original melody that she added at the beginning, I'm glad the rest of the song focused on the more familiar elements. It's definitely among my favorites for this one, but I think first place really takes it. That, of course, being Blue Lays' Future Bass remix. This one really surprised me, especially with how unhappy he was with it when he submitted it. He mentioned that it was mainly with mixing. I don't think it's all that bad. As a matter of fact, I think it's really, really good. Like, insanely good. I never would have thought just chopping off the first and last notes of the melody would make that big of a difference, but holy crap, it sounds so good. Pair that with the vocal chops, the bass, and just everything about it is just so good. I love it. Definitely in my top 5. But, of course, the competition couldn't be any steeper than the entries for the Diamond in a Rut category. Oh boy, the entries for this category were so good. It was really hard to choose who won. 4 out of 5. That's right, this not only got the most entries out of all the songs, but also has some of the best, if not the best, entries in the contest. Barring one of the entries, the remaining 4 were just on a whole other level from the rest, and I really had to think about which ones were the top 3. Putting aside all subtleties, Jack the Hack's entry was definitely last. It started out pretty good, I kinda liked where it was going, and then it just really fell off hard. Granted, this was a rushed entry, I know because he told me, and dude, I appreciate the effort, but take more time next time. I get it if inspiration strikes and you can't help when it happens, but like the day before? Fourth place is leagues ahead though though, and it was, again, a really tough decision, but I had to put Cyclotone's drum step remix here. Cyclotone's remix was just so good. I really liked how each part felt unique, but it kind of flowed well together. I've never really listened to drum step, but I've heard of it. That being said, the next three have a bit more consistency, which, despite what I just said, I think works much better in the case of this song. Coming in at number 3 is Ryan Jacome. I really enjoyed his bass house remix, and that's saying a lot because I'm not a huge fan of bass house. Not to say that it's a bad genre that I absolutely hate it, I just don't really listen to it. And in this case, it was definitely worth listening to. The part that really got me was how the verse and like the pre-drop build-up part didn't really transition well, and unfortunately that cost him second and first place. Coming in at second place, the very first person to enter the contest, Machine of Yesterday. This was really tough because while I really wanted to give Machine of Yesterday the top spot, it just didn't quite have what it takes to get that spot. While I really wanted to give Machine of Yesterday the top spot, the thing that really held it back for me was the length. I liked where it was going. I feel like if it was just a bit longer, maybe like another minute, it would have been perfect. Which of course leaves first place open for Slice, aka DJ Penguin. Slice's Complextro Funk was just so good. It's hard to describe just how good this was. And while I mentioned about Cyclotone's variation being a factor in it not getting a higher place, here it worked a lot better for me with it being Complextro. It's a certain way that it feels, and like the slap bass to it, and you really gotta just listen to it for yourself. It's that good. And that's it. Slightly anticlimactic, unless you thought it was climactic that Slice won. Slice might think so, because throughout the entire reaction stream, they kept talking about how bad theirs was. So did Cyclotone, but Cyclotone's and Jack the Hacks has such a wide gap between 4th and 5th place, it's not even funny. But what do you think? Which was your favorite? Who would you have chosen? And do you think I was fair? If so, and if not, let me know in the comments. And also let me know if you want me to do another remix contest. I definitely plan to, but this is a good way to gauge interest, and it's always nice to see who might want to join next time. Of course, I'll be reaching out to the 1st and 2nd place winners after this video goes live for their preferred payment method for their prize money. Everyone else, again, thank you for entering, and you did a really good job. I'm sorry, Jack, I can't honestly say that about you, but good effort. Of course, if you liked this, check out my other content. I've got my Paradox Music Critique series, and of course, I've got my own original music. Go check out the originals, go check out everyone who entered the contest, check out my content. My link should be in the description. Check out all the things, and remember to like, comment, subscribe. That all being said, I hope you have a great day whenever you're seeing this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.